and gentlemen, I'm John Gray, and we're just plain living here.
Good morning, John. I'm Peggy Burton. I'm barely living here.
Peggy, do you know what I have in my pocket?
I'm afraid to say.
If I pull this out just a little bit further right here, you will see the markings of a South Jackson Goes Country yellow bandana.
You're right. I forgot about that.
And it's South Jackson Goes Country is in practice mode right now. We're going to have people. We've had some people on the show that are going to be on that show.
Yeah, we have Eddie North today.
Eddie North's going to, and I'm so glad to see Eddie. He hadn't been with us in 3 or 4 years.
Eddie's a great man.
He's just a wonderful guy, and we're just proud to have him here.
He'll be on pretty soon, I think.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
What I want to say, a couple of things. Last night we had our board meeting to the first adoption of the 2040 plan. If you haven't seen that, if you didn't watch it, find a way to watch it. It ended up being about 4 hours long, and the plan was postponed. And there were many citizens up there complaining about the plan, and that the city hadn't given proper warning of what was going on. Of course, we've been working on it for almost 2 years now. But voice your opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Voice your opinion, folks.
Let people know how you feel.
Voice their opinion. So you voice your opinion. There was one specific segment of town who was complaining, and I sort of thought, well, what about the other 20,000 of us?
Right.
That think it's okay.
But then
if you think it's okay, go say it's okay. If you think it's wrong, this is not a plan that the board is forcing down anybody's face. This is a plan that the citizens are supposed to get in behind.
And there's no reason you complain when you don't voice your opinion.
Right. So
because everybody has the same opportunities, to my knowledge.
Opportunity. So say something, and don't forget to vote, because election next Thursday. Week from Thursday is election day.
It's election day, and now it's early election, so get in there and vote.
Yeah, get in there and vote. Now, what I want to say is South Jackson Goes Country throughout the years has had some marvelous musicians play as not just the entertainers, but the band.
Oh,
the South Jackson Goes Country
Band.
They
have an array of accolades behind them and supporting of country stars over the years.
Right. So what I want to do is run down this lineup, because this doesn't get said enough. And I'm going to tell you something about the band that is going to be behind the South Jackson Goes Country Stars. Okay? We're going to start off with Bill Hullett. Bill has been the first call in Nashville as a studio musician, playing for Merle Haggard, Marty Robbins, Martina McBride, George Jones, Tammy Wynette, Vern Gosden, Pam Tillis, Leroy Parnell, B.J. Thomas, Radney Foster, and was staff guitarist for TNN's Country Music Tonight show, hosted by Charlie Chase and Lori Ann Crook. This is, he played also for Don Williams, Brenda Lee, and Bobby Bare. That is Bill Hullett, the guitar player, who is a monster musician.
He is writing the charts also for this year's show.
Acoustic and electric guitar, Steve Mccomb hails from Flint, Michigan, and has played with the Drifters, Under the Boardwalk, Crystals, Then He Kissed Me, the Diamonds, Little Darlin', Bobby Lewis, Tossin' and Turnin', as well as Badfinger, Ashton Shepherd, Tiny Tim, Sherry Austin. Steve had 4 of his original songs featured on HBO's True Blood television series. That is our rhythm guitarist and lead guitarist, and plays along with Bill. Keyboard, Morris Hamley graduated from MTSU Industry Program, full scholarship, and returned to graduate as a Master of Arts degree with an emphasis on piano performance. He has been in music since he's an educator in Rutherford County School System and voted Teacher of the Year. You know,
he's a phenomenal individual.
He's a phenomenal. He's been the keyboardist on musicals like Grease, Lion King, Who's Tommy, Hairspray, The Sound of Music, Oliver, Little Shop of Horrors. He is currently serves as the pianist for St. Paul's Episcopal Church in Murfreesboro. Drummer Michael Long. Studio and touring credits include playing with Gary Morris, Poco, Dr. Hook, and The Medicine Show, Dale Shannon, Michael Young, bluegrass, Billy Joe Royal, and John. I mean, it just goes on, folks. This is marvelous.
They are an excellent band.
John Snyder, Tom Wopat, Clifford Curry, Vassar Clements, Tom Paul Glazer. You know, these are stellar musicians, and our band leader, bassist Jerry Fox, who arrived in Music City as a touring bass player for Epic Records. Charlie McLean played with her #1 hits for solo artists, Cheating Who, Dancing Your Memory Away, and duets with Mickey Gilley. Jerry was the founding member of the band Bandana on Warner Brothers Records and co-wrote their top 20 hit Outside Looking In. Jerry's bass playing and is backed up Don Gibson, Oh Lonesome Me, Sweet Dreams, A Legend in My Time, Terry Gibbs, Somebody's Knockin', and Country Music's Hall of Fame Merle Travis, 16 Tons, and Dark as a Dungeon.
We're doing 16
Folks,
tons this year.
That's the quality.
Do you mind if I mention that Thursday night we're having the ice cream social at South Jackson?
We'll get there.
Are we going to get there?
We're going to save some. We're going to have a little of that later on. But yes,
okay.
Thursday
Well, I
night
have a
is the
couple of
ice
things
cream
that
social.
A couple of things that I wanted to say that maybe you don't know.
You
I don't
reckon?
Right. It might be possible that I have 1/10 of a brain left in my head. The one thing I want to say is, in case of rain, we're going onto the stage.
Okay.
Because, you know, I've seen it on the forecast, it could be rain Thursday night, and we're having...
That's this Thursday night.
That is this Thursday night,
rain for
the
the rest of the
28th, and at 6:30 there's a dance class, and the band will start playing at 7, and we're going to give, the Civic Center, is going to give 4 classes of dance prizes. And people have asked me, well, what kind of prizes are they? Well, I think there's a little liquid in each package, and there will be vouchers to restaurants, and already we have from Celtic Cup and Applebee's and people like that, you know.
Sure.
Anyway, our town is very good on supporting what we do, and so we invite everybody out, bring a lawn chair, et cetera, et cetera.
And I want you to realize, folks, this is the South Jackson Goes Country Band that filled Centennial Park.
No. Oh, no, you said the South Jackson Goes Country Band.
No, the South Jackson Band.
We're the South Jackson Street Big Band, not a country band.
Yes, dear. Yes, dear.
I know,
yes.
I know.
That filled Centennial Park, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, there were thousands. It was
right
really
here in Tullahoma, you get to hear that same band that brought Nashville out to Centennial Park right here at South Jackson Civic Center.
Thank you. It's a journey.
That was a mouthful, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. You did good.
Hey, we're going to have, one of the things we have on today, Eddie's going to be on and do a little playing. We have Coach Coy Sisk, the new head football coach at Tullahoma High School, is going to be on and give us a little insight into the upcoming season, because let's see, the country show is
12, 13,
13, and 14, and then the following
August.
Thursday on the 18th is the first Tullahoma High School football game against Shelbyville. We'll have some discussion about that. And hey, we're just going to have a good time here as always, and we hope you are out there as well. I hope you're enjoying your summer. School's going to start. So all the little kids will be
ready to go
out
back
on
to
the
school.
street and going to school, and watch your speed as you're going through school zones and all those things that happen when school starts.
Protect our future.
Protect our children.
That's what I mean.
That
That's
is our future.
Exactly.
Very good, Peggy. You're just sharp as a tack this morning. Did y'all have a good practice last night?
We did. You know, I'm not terribly involved, but I take notes because, you know, I'm the...
You're not terribly involved. That mind of yours is like a steel trap. You're always involved.
Samantha Waters is such an amazing young woman. She is
she is.
Fabulous director and needs not much coaching at all, ever. She's just a brilliant young lady. And
she is that. She is that.
And we have a lot of new people this year?
Yes, I noticed.
It'll be fun. I wanted to say one more thing about the South Jackson Street Band. This wasn't in the paper, and I love what the paper wrote, but we failed to have Doreen Gibson put in the write-up, and she'll be singing also Thursday night, because I don't sing everything anymore. Wish I could.
You still do a great job, sis.
Well, you know, I have to stay busy. Well, I'm actually hung up on my thing here.
Okay. Well, what we'll do right now is take a quick break, and we'll be back with today's show.
Clayton's has been Tullahoma's shoe store for over 120 years, and Florence Hall continues that tradition today. We're the only shoe store in town that starts with measuring your foot to make sure you get the perfect fit in a quality shoe. That includes narrow through wide widths for men, women, and children. Clayton Shoes, the family shoe store you'll love.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
All right, folks, we're back, and I'm excited. I'm very, very excited about two things. One, football season is right around the corner, and as you know, for 30 years, for my whole life, ever since I was in junior high, I've been a football guy. And we've done we did the John Olive fifth quarter show for 30 years, and now we have a new leader at the helm of our Tullahoma Wildcat High School football team, and that is Coach Coy Sisk, and Coach Sisk is with us today. Sir, congratulate. Oh, can I roll that hand over? That's the first time I've seen one of those.
There you go.
Folks, look at that. That is a Tullahoma High School state championship ring. Sir, congratulations.
Thank you, John.
You and the staff and the fans and the city and the school system and the quarterback club and everybody is to be celebrated for this. The whole town celebrated wildly. And now you, young man, have been chosen to follow that act. Although you were a very big part of that act.
Yes, sir.
But how are things going, Coach? How you feeling?
Things are going great. Hey, it's great to be back at football practice, back with the young men. Things are going real good here in Tullahoma. A lot of activity and a lot of guys out. And one girl. We have one female on the team, Miss Haley Probola. She's going to kick for us this year. Outstanding young lady, and went through the month of June and July. And hey, she worked her tail off, and we're real proud to have her.
You know what? When my son played about 20 years ago, was the last undefeated season that Tullahoma High School had until the last 2 years.
Yes, sir.
We got beat by a girl field goal kicker in the first round of the playoffs, undefeated, and got beat by a female field goal kicker. So, with that said, bless her. I hope she gets the respect she deserves from her teammates. I'm sure she will.
Oh, absolutely.
And I hope she can kick everyone straight and true.
Exactly.
Because we have found out through the last several years how important a kicking game is in high school football.
No, absolutely.
It's extremely important. And we've been fortunate to have some good kickers.
Well, and she has a gigantic surrounding cast also. We do have another Chadwick that kicks also. So, hey, Grant leads that charge.
Yeah.
So, but hey, what a great one to practice with.
Oh, heavens, yes.
Because Justice
Heavens,
has been
yes.
back this summer. And, hey, he's down there working with them also. And Coach Holliday does an amazing job with our kicking game. He and Coach Goodman.
You know, people don't think about it, but if one of the biggest threats in high school football is the return game. And it sets the bar, it sets where your team is on the field. And if you kick that ball in the end zone every time, it's at the 20-yard line.
Oh, absolutely. And
there are no 40 and 50-yard run backs if that ball's in the end zone.
Correct. And also starting on the 20.
Yeah.
Having offenses being able to be consistent enough to make those drives. We were successfully defensively last year because teams had to carry the ball 80 yards down the field and able to score. You know, so hey, like congrats or great job, Chadwick, Holiday, those guys, because it sure makes everybody's job a lot easier.
Sure does. Sure does. How's your team looking, Coach?
Looking good. We're right on track. As of right now, John, we've got 6 seniors coming back. So that's not a very big number.
Lost, what, 18?
22.
22.
22, graduated 22, and 22 guys that contributed heavily.
Every day.
Yes. So in losing those guys, you know, that's part of it, but 6 guys coming back, and those 6 guys have worked really hard and stepped up and become leaders. So primarily our team's juniors and sophomores, and we're relying on them. Strength and conditioning wise, they're right on track. But being a young team, we understand that we're going to make some mistakes, but we're going to learn from our mistakes as we go, and we're going to learn from each other as we go. Because, hey, they're young, and guess who else is young? Me. As a head coach.
As a head coach.
So we're going to, this will be my 20th season in high school football, but first year as a head coach. So I tell those guys, look, hey, I'm learning every day, and we're going to learn from each other and get better. That's our goal, is every time we're together, get a little better.
You know, and that's something that I saw John teach is after games and before games, and you know, you don't win a season in the first and second and third football game. You win yourself. And you learn that if we just keep, all we got to do is get a little bit better every week, and all of a sudden, guess what? You're a winning football team.
And that's the key. If we're the same team in week 1 that we are in week 5, 6, 7, we haven't done a good job as coaches.
Right.
Hey, our guys have to continue to get better. They peak at the right time. Hey, and continue to push themselves throughout the season. This last year's group, I tell this story. I do the strength and conditioning also. All right, but these guys, all right, the week of the semifinals, there are 31 new personal records in the weight room on that football team. So we continued to get stronger, and that group continued to push as we went. The week of the state championship, we only had 3. I blame that because we had to leave early.
Well, do you have any other changes in your coaching staff?
We've added one coach, Josh Sudbury, and we lost Coach Torres. Coach Torres retired, and hey,
he was a good one.
A vital part of the football team. Your offensive line coach, as me and you've talked before, your offensive line coach is a core guy. The rest of us coaches, well, we're kind of replaceable, you know, from time to time. But the offensive line coach and the DB coach, hey, those guys are extremely important. Hey, they set the heartbeat on your team. The offensive line coach has to be able to make those guys play fluid and be one unit. So, hey, Coach Sudbury and Coach Tim Lemons are going to step into that position, and these guys are fun to watch. They bring great energy, and they communicate well. Both of these guys are volunteers. They're not educators at our school. So they have other jobs that they rely on. But when those guys show up to football, they are football coaches.
Football guys.
You got it.
Well, our first game is against Shelbyville.
Yes, sir.
And that's in Shelbyville?
That is correct.
And we have how many home games?
No, excuse me. We're at home.
We're at home with that?
We're at home.
Okay.
So this year we'll only go on the road 4 times.
Okay.
All right, so we've got 6 at home.
But they're lengthy travels.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The closest one would be Marshall County. Farthest one away would probably be Greenbrier.
Right.
So, yes, we do have some lengthy travel, but after this season, we realign again.
Okay.
So we were on a 2-year cycle with TSSAA this last time and ended up in a 9-team region.
Okay.
So we will switch next time, and we'll see where TSSAA places Tullahoma High School.
We'll go wherever they send us.
Well, we'll go wherever they send us, and then after that.
With cars and trucks and vans and buses full of folks.
Yes, sir.
And we want to remind you folks out there that this will be the inaugural year of the Coy Sisk. I keep wanting to put an R in there
That's
for
all
some
right.
reason.
It's all right.
Coy Sisk 5th quarter show. And that we did just like Coach Olive, and we'll be in here on Saturday morning, and we'll go play by play.
Hey, can't wait.
And listen to and watch the game and get the coach's reaction and actions to it. And just know, Coach, congratulations. They couldn't have picked a better guy. They got it right.
Well, thank you, John.
When they decided to stick right here at home and bring the guy that these kids and fans love up to the top. Cream comes to the top, brother. You keep it floating high and good up there, buddy.
Yes, sir.
And know that we've got you back.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks, man.
You're welcome.
We'll be right back after these messages.
I got a tour and I saw all the things and I was so excited about them. And she took me to the movie theater and it had red chairs. So this is a done deal and I like it.
We have so many activities here that you just can't keep up with them all. We have exercise, we have coloring, we have crafts.
It's charming, it's attractive, it's very comfortable. It was one of the best decisions of my life.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Lie beside me on the sand, put some lotion in your hand. Come on, make me feel nice, kiss me once or twice. Say you love me again. Turn your radio on, find some slow grooving song. Come on and whisper in my ear, say the words I want to hear. Let me know your love is strong. Then rub it in, rub it in. Rub it in, rub it in. I feel the tingle begin. You're getting under my skin. Rub it in, rub it in.
I will never forget when you did that before. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Eddie North, and he has been on South Jackson Goes Country. I forgot how long ago it's been, but it's so great to have you back.
A lot of years.
I think you went off to Hendersonville for a while.
Yes, I did. I went to Hendersonville, do a little work out Nashville way.
Right. Then decided to come back here.
Yeah.
And we're glad. We're just glad. I was thrilled to see you.
Well, of course, my wife had passed away 4 years ago, and I didn't try to replace her, don't get me wrong, but I had a gal that I knew from here before.
So you came back.
And she happened to call me one time and said, "Hey, it's storming and I'm scared." I says, "Well, you just hang on." And so she came back and seen me the next day. She drove to Hendersonville.
So you got married and moved back to Tullahoma.
And she said, "You're going home with me." So
well, that's fabulous. That's like a
And we
what?
got married.
A 30-minute romance.
And we got married on the 22nd.
So what are some of the things that, some of the places you've performed or with?
I sang some in a place called Layla's.
Okay.
On Lower Broad there in
Okay.
Nashville. And in Nashville Palace.
That's fabulous.
That's a nice place.
That's a nice
I
place
like
to
it,
play, yeah.
That was fun.
I know it was.
I really enjoyed that.
So did you solo? Did you back up people?
I've done a lot of
Little
solo,
both. Yeah,
solo
I can
work.
see why.
Yeah,
I can see why.
I sure did.
I'm so glad you're still doing it. Don't
Well,
ever stop. It keeps,
It's in your blood. You can't quit.
I know. I always
I
say
keep
to people,
saying, look at me. I'm getting too old.
oh no.
I need to quit.
No, you don't. You don't. Nobody needs to quit. That's the beauty of music.
That's true.
I think music has sustained me for a long time, and I can't imagine a life without music in my life.
It gets so hard, and I feel like I'm a bother to people because
good grief.
I can't always see what I'm doing, and you know what
Right.
what
It's
I
okay.
mean.
I understand.
I have to have
I have the
somebody
same
walk
problem.
me across the
Yeah.
stage, but.
Let's tell the people, what night are you on the show? What nights are you playing? And this
I
is,
am on. You only gave me Saturday night.
well, I didn't do that.
Oh, okay.
Samantha Waters
No,
is the
I'm
director
on Saturday
now.
night, and
That's a great night to be on.
August 13th.
Oh, it's August 13th.
August 13th. Yeah, right.
And I think you're a songwriter, and so are you in the songwriter segment also?
Yeah, I have written a few songs, but
Yeah. I don't want to keep talking. I want to hear you play one more song. Do you mind?
Okay.
And whatever you want to play, I'm happy with it.
Okay. How about let me think.
Oh, okay.
You know, when you get my age, it's hard to think sometimes.
Well, you have a lot of good ones. I know you
I know I'm almost out of blank,
Oh, that's all right. If you can't.
but it ain't out of blank.
Okay.
I am going to sing a song. If you just
You know what? This happens to me all the
just
time.
bear with me. Well, I'll just sing a part of this here.
Okay.
Wish I were down on some blue bayou with a bamboo cane stuck in the sand. But the road I'm on, it don't seem to go there. So I'll just dream, keep on being the way I am. The way I am don't fit my shackles. The way I am, reality, I can almost last Barbara dancing, and I just dream, keep on being the way I am. Oh, I just dream, keep on being the way I am.
You conjured up a great song.
Okay, just a little bit of my own now.
Okay. All right.
You don't have to dress in fancy clothes, roll your hair. The tenderness you show me let me know you care. Chantilly lace and painted face in the morning will be gone. You don't have to flick a switch to turn me on. You don't have to be a saint. You know I understand. You're just trying hard to make me feel more like a man. Just be yourself. You can't replace what God above has done. You don't have to flick a switch to turn me on. No, you don't have to flick a switch to turn me on.
All right, Eddie, I think we gotta go. What a great pleasure to have you today. We'll be
All right,
back
I
with
really enjoyed it.
an assortment of things. Thank you. MacArthur Manor Assisted Living is passionate about creating better experiences for our Manchester seniors. Our residents describe us in a few words.
Welcoming.
When you walk through the doors at MacArthur Manor, we'll treat you like family. Caring. Through high standards of personalized care, we help residents live life to its fullest. Engaging. With a wide range of life-enriching activities, there is something for everyone at MacArthur Manor. With our residents and staff now vaccinated, call us today to schedule your safe and personalized tour.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
The individuals with dementia, those with Parkinson's, those that have maybe mobility issues, need caregivers. Well, those caregivers are 24 hours a day at home, and they never get a rest. And if they have to go to work, they're kind of out of luck. So that's why Trinity came into existence 25 years ago, to allow the caregivers to have a safe center where they could put their loved ones, know they would be well cared for, stimulated, fed good nutritious meals, have activities to their level, and then the caregiver can stop by and pick them up and go on home and have some continuity into their life.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, folks, we're back in Eddie North.
Don't you love him?
I love that guy. I'm so glad he's back with us for the country
I
show
am
this
too.
year.
He is an interesting individual.
He is that. He is that. And, you know, one thing that's going on, and we mentioned it a little bit earlier, is this is election time.
I know. I'm getting messages every day and printouts, and I've got to go vote today. I haven't voted yet.
Well, early voting's open through the 30th.
Right.
And then election is a week from Thursday.
Which is very soon.
We've interviewed a lot of the candidates, and our show Insight, that's on channel 193 on channel 6, has interviews with the aldermen from Tullahoma, the ones that would come to be interviewed. Some of them chose not to come and be interviewed, and then the county mayor's race.
Oh, good.
So, but we went and streamed the debates in Manchester at the radio stations, and you know, we want you to watch all that stuff. You can go on our website, our Facebook, YouTube channel, and that is Channel 6, the link Channel 6 on YouTube. And every show we have is, there it is, the link on Channel 6. Facebook is newsleader, facebook.com newsleader on 6. So that's where all of those shows are on the internet. So you can watch them, or you can watch our channel and watch for Insight.
Well, y'all do a great job in putting in the forefront people that are running for office, because I think a lot of times in Tullahoma, maybe they're not as familiar with the people that are running in Manchester, so do they get a concept
certainly,
of what all the competition is?
You know, it's very important. It's very important. These elections are very important this year because it's a mid-year of the presidential races, and so there's a lot of party politics going on at the state level and national level. But again, I want you to realize there is no place for party politics in city government.
I agree. It ought to be about the city and
the
what's
city
best.
and the people here.
What's
not,
best.
Not a party that you're involved
not
in.
Not an agenda.
An agenda. And of course our county is one of 50 out of the 95 that do have party politics in the county, which I disagree with. Vote for the person who's best for your county and for your city.
It's in those elections that I declare myself an independent, because
very much so.
It's you know, it's a juggling of effect, and you need to pick who you think sincerely is best.
So what we want to bring you right now, there's Insight. There's the logo for Insight right there. So you look for that and you can find interviews. And then what we want to bring you right now is from the debates, the radio debates, the conversations between the candidates for county sheriff.
Good.
And we'll go to that right now.
Our next group of candidates are running for Coffee County Sheriff. We have 3 candidates in this race: Brandon Tomberlin, Danny Farrell, and Chad Parton. We will go in that order on the questions and in the opening statements. Each of you have 2 minutes for an opening statement, and Brandon, you get to go first.
Hello everyone, my name's Brandon Tomberlin. Thank you to Thunder Radio and the Church 117 for hosting this event. Thank you for attending. Thank you to those of you that are listening on the radio or via Facebook for listening in. I'm excited to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a father, 2 daughters, Lauren and Braden Tomberlin. They are my pride and joy. I'm a husband to Angie Slater Tomberlin of 23 years, and she has been my rock through this endeavor. I'm a son to Tommy and Brenda Tomberlin. They are the hardest working, most loving parents that a child could ask for. I'm not here today to tell you why you shouldn't vote for these 2 men. They are good men. I'm just here today to tell you why that you should vote for me. I'm an active member of New Hope Baptist Church, but I am not perfect. I am a sinner saved by grace through faith. I am thankful that God has been with me through this journey. I am a farmer in rural Coffee County. I own and operate a cow-calf operation. I have attended the University of Tennessee Master Beef Producer Program and Advanced Master Beef Producer Program, and I am on the board of directors of the Coffee County Grundy County Cattlemen's Association. I have over 20 years of law enforcement experience locally and internationally. I have extensive experience in personnel, finance and budgeting, training, logistics, operations, and management. Currently, I'm proud to serve the citizens of Manchester as the chief investigator. I will diligently work to provide this county with the best service and public safety possible. I have truly enjoyed all of the front porch talks, the living room, and driveway talks. I greatly appreciate all the phone calls and messages that I've received from everyone, and I respectfully ask for your vote in this general election. Thank you.
Thank you. That was Brandon Tomberlin. Up next, Danny Farrell. Danny, you have 2 minutes.
I would like to thank everybody for being here tonight, taking time away from their families and being here at this event. I would like to thank Thunder Radio, my wife and my boys are my best achievement. We've been together for 23 years, and I've raised 3 good boys. I know I'm not a...
We'll add that to your time. Just go a little closer there.
As your sheriff, I will strive to serve and protect the citizens of Coffee County, having qualified and fully staffed shifts. As a result of that, it will eliminate the SROs from having to leave the schools and children unprotected to cover other duties in the department. The deputies will be accessible to the public, quicker response times on calls. Deputies held accountable for and maintaining a high moral character and have a high visibility. Work together with all law enforcement agencies inside and outside of Coffee County for more cohesive service for all. Have an open door policy. If I'm not there, you leave a number and I will call you back. Work with schools on the SRO program and be more efficient and for growth. Maintain a sensible budget that benefits officers as well as Coffee County citizens. I like being volunteering and having arranging and participating in charity events. If all of y'all knew me, there's nothing at the Sheriff's Department that I hadn't done but be sheriff and a SRO. If you follow me on Facebook, y'all all know that I love to cook. That's just something I love to do. And in ending, I want to reestablish several connections with community churches and other organizations so we can make Coffee County the best it can be. Thank you.
Thank you. That was Danny Farrell, candidate for Coffee County Sheriff. Sheriff Chad Parton, you are next. You have 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Josh and Thunder Radio, for putting this on, and it's really good to see this house packed tonight. So thank you for your interest. Thank you for being here. I'm not going to sound like a broken record. This is my 4th debate for the year. So some of us had to run through a primary, and you've got to hear me twice there. But I am the sheriff of Coffee County, and I have been for 4 years. We hit the ground running. We put the SROs in the elementary schools. Are we perfect? No. We made a lot of concessions at the Sheriff's Department to get those personnel into those buildings without any more funding or any more tax increases. Is there things that we can do to improve on that? Yes, ma'am, and yes, sir, there is. And we will work on that. But Rome wasn't built in a day, but you can tear it down in a day. Moving on. We went in with 17 federal lawsuits laying on my desk. It took us 3.5 years to get rid of those. I am happy to say, as of tonight, we are lawsuit free at the Coffee County Sheriff's Department after many, many years. Each one of those lawsuits cost you a minimum of $20,000 to answer. We don't need lawsuits. We've changed our work ethic in that jail. We've turned that thing around. We've got a work FTO program in that jail, so much that TCI says it is amazing what y'all get done with what you've got. We do more with less. You've heard me say that. We're going to continue to do that. I'm very proud of that work. And what I'm really proud of is the work that our team that is assembled is to manage your tax dollars. Manage your tax dollars. As of June 30th, we're well on our way. And if Ms. Green has showed me her numbers correctly, and generally she's not off because we have perfect audits. $1.3 million good to this budget, ladies and gentlemen. That's never been done in the history of this department. And I'm very proud of that. Thank you. We are going to continue to keep you safe. I'm very proud of the drug work that we've done. I'm very proud of the work that our detectives have done. They're very hard workers. They're dragging stolen property in every day. They've been out all this week. I can't imagine how I can explain to you the stolen property that they've brought in this week and help the victims of crime. And we're going to continue to do that. And I ask you for your vote. Thank you.
All right, we have some questions that were submitted by our listening audience. We will start at this end of the table with Sheriff Parton and work our way back that way. Here's question number 1. You will have 2 minutes to answer this question. Jerry has a question for all 3 candidates, so the same question will go all the way down the table. I will repeat it if you need me to. Do you consider yourself a constitutional sheriff candidate or not? Would you allow Coffee County to be a sanctuary county if the federal government was trying to implement policies that were unconstitutional?
Yes, I am very involved as being a constitutional sheriff. Now, a lot of folks have asked me if I would sign in to the Constitutional Sheriff's Association. Folks, I try to keep my name out of a lot of stuff. And when you start causing waves and start poking your head up, the federal government has to come down here and nose into us. We don't want to be bothered, ladies and gentlemen, but I am a constitutional sheriff. I stood right out there at that county mayor's office and supported the 2A amendment and resolution that we sent to Nashville to leave us alone. I own guns. A whole bunch of people in this county own guns. I very seldom carry one, even at work. I have to dig around in my truck seat to find it a lot of times. They make fun of me a lot, but I'm a pro-2A person. I am a constitutionalist. I believe in our Constitution. I swore to that Constitution, and I swore to the Tennessee Constitution. We're going to continue to do that. If there's going to be safety needed for invasion of the federal government, I'm your last line of hope. Your sheriff is the last line of your defense of your freedoms. And I believe in your freedoms. I believe in my freedoms, and we're going to stand together if we have those problems. Thank you. Thank you, Jerry.
That was Sheriff Parton. Danny, same question. Would you like me to repeat that?
Please, sir.
Do you consider yourself a constitutional sheriff candidate or not? Would you allow Coffee County to be a sanctuary county if the federal government was trying to implement policies that were unconstitutional?
Most definitely constitutional. I've got guns all through my house that I've raised my boys on how to hunt and fish. Several people in this room that I've hunted and fished with. That's one of the rights the Constitution to give us, and I'm not going to buck from that.
Thank you. That was Danny Farrell. Brandon Tomberlin, you have the question. Would you like me to repeat that?
No, sir. No, sir. I got it. I've had a lot of conversation on the campaign trail about the Constitution and whether or not I would uphold the Constitution. And I will take an oath to uphold that Constitution, and I will fight with you to defend it. I have guns myself, and I know where every one of them are. I enjoyed spending time in the past weekend or so at the NRA banquet. I support those kind of events, and I support your rights, and I will always defend the Constitution, or I will be there to fight with you for it. Thank you.
Thank you. That was Brandon Tomberlin. Next question, and we'll start back with you, Brandon. Sue in Hillsborough has this question, and this will be for all 3 candidates again as we go down the row. With mental health being an obvious challenge today, what do you do or plan to do to better prepare your officers to detect a mental health crisis incident? And how are they being trained to effectively and compassionately de-escalate such occurrences? How do you see police work altering to address this?
So, to ignore the mental health issue in our community would be negligent. Mental health, I want to work with mental health professionals to find the best solutions in these instances. I've been working and talking with officers from around the state, even some sheriffs from around the state, about programs that are currently in place. And those are co-responder programs. That is where a mental health professional actually works with the sheriff's department or police agency, and they are there in real time ready to respond to those incidents with those officers or deputies. It is a valuable tool, a valuable asset to an agency to have that professional there at real time on the scene. And folks, it also cuts down on time. I mean, if we can take a mental health professional with us to respond to these scenes, we don't have to load them up in a back seat of a police car, handcuff them and load them up in a back seat of a police car transport them to the hospital where they sit for 4 to 5 hours waiting on crisis team to come do their evaluation and then find them a bed. These folks can come right to the scene and do that evaluation and make the decision right then what needs to happen. And I'm all about looking at new ideas and focusing on those issues and fixing these problems. Thank you.
Thank you. That was Brandon Tomberlin. Mr. Farrell, you have the same question. Would you like me to repeat that?
No, sir, I'm good. Mental health is a growing issue across this United States. We see it every day on the news, some form or fashion of it. And I'm going to use Warren County Sheriff's Department. I know that they have a mental health person there when their inmates are brought in and arrested. If we think they're having a mental health problem, they sit and talk with them to help us along with that. I know with Sheriff Parton, we take several mental health trips a night. I don't know how his is wound up, but we're taking 3 or 4 a night to different variations within the state of Tennessee. Mental health is a very growing problem, but it's something as a whole that we're all going to have to address, just not the Sheriff's Department, to get it to work. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was Danny Farrell. Sheriff Parton, same question. Would you like me to repeat that?
No, thank you, Rob. Sue in Hillsborough, thank you, because mental health is a major problem in our field. We've got to work on and keep pushing with our state legislators to create more laws and more buffers to stop the criminalization of the mentally ill. Your jail out here is full of mentally ill people. What happened is years ago, the state of Tennessee, in its infinite wisdom, shut down hundreds of mental health facility beds. What they've done is that crammed these folks into local jails in all 95 counties. It is sad. I've been in multiple meetings with our local police departments, you know, trying to work with them, trying to work with the hospitals. And we've got to train our medical professionals about this. You know, folks, they come into the ERs every night. You can go to either ER in this county and you can see folks in there with a lot of mental illness. And they self-diagnose themselves and self-medicate themselves, sometimes with street legal or street narcotics, illegal narcotics. We've got to work with them. I've had the commissioner of mental health and in my office in the first few months after I took office at the Sheriff's Department. And we sat and talked about selling the county jail to the state of Tennessee for a mental health regional reception center. Now, I know that's hard for you to grasp, but we wanted to, in the big picture, to look at the 3 grand divisions of a diversion center. And we would go out there and volunteer to give up our jail to do that and go out on 55 where our jail should have been built to begin with and build a new facility and a justice center together that we need. But that's another topic for another day. But I've been on the legislative committee for the Sheriff's Association. I was involved in getting the law passed. We're one of the few states in the 50 states where the sheriffs now get to contract with a private transporter to ease the pain of the mentally ill being transported to these facilities. They get loaded up and put in the back seat of cage patrol cars. It is traumatic, very traumatic. And we are trying to ease that burden, and I'm very glad that I was involved in that and that Governor Lee helped us with that and gave us grant money. We've been a recipient of over $100,000 for the last 2 years to do mental health transports. Thank you.
Thank you. That was Sheriff Parton. This round has 3 different questions, or a different question for each candidate. We'll start with Sheriff Parton. This question comes to us from Barry in Coffee County. Your primary opponent in the spring Republican primary was Alethea Ron. She worked for the Sheriff's Department as an SRO. She recently left your department and now works for the city of Manchester. Alethea has stated on social media that she was punished for running for sheriff. She stated that you took away her filing in the Coffee County High School and took away from her being a participant on the SWAT team. How do you respond to those claims?
Well, it's just like everything you get in today's time with social media and keyboard warriors. That is a bunch of horse hockey. I went above and beyond. That's all right, calm down. I went above and beyond to take care of my friend Alethea Ron, and she's hurt. She got beat. These campaigns hurt. It puts a lot of burden between us and these candidates. I've known these gentlemen here for many years. I know a lot of you in this room, and we went above and beyond. But the thing is, what this question is not addressing is, you need to ask how long Alethea was off work on FMLA. She was off for a long time. We did not mistreat her. We did everything by the book, for the book, and as a matter of fact, a lot of people expected me to fire her. I've lived through those days. You don't do that. I have no reason to fire her. And you can ask all these employees I got in here tonight, if there's any one person in here, I made a full directive. She is one of us. She's our little sister, and we're going to take care of her, and she's still my little sister, and I know she's hurt because she got beat.
Thank you. That was Sheriff Chad Parton. Mr. Farrell, Brandon, and not that Brandon, different Brandon. It's not you. A listener named Brandon. Says that you stated in your reasoning for running for sheriff that you would like to bring true conservative leadership to the county. Brandon wants to know why you're running as an independent and not a Republican.
I was posed for that question tonight because I knew it was coming. You can ask Mr. Peterson 8 years ago when I announced I was running as an independent then too. My fault is I vote for the person and not the party. So if that hurts me, that hurts me, but I vote for the person, not the party. I can be very conservative and work with anybody in this room to accomplish a goal, and that's what's best for Coffee County. Thank you.
Thank you. That was Mr. Farrell, candidate for Coffee County Sheriff. Mr. Tomberlin, this question comes to us from Amy in Manchester. If elected, do you intend to reverse the decision about allowing Manchester Police Department to remotely view interviews with inmates at the Coffee County Jail? Sheriff Parton stopped the city's access to those videos due to a lawsuit brought against the city police alleging breaches of confidentiality after a video was allegedly posted on social media.
Maybe a trick question. So right now this is in litigation. I can't discuss the facts of this or any details of what's going on. It's unfortunate this was a question that was asked, and that's why I just met with the sheriff and told him I'm not going to expand on this other than if it is allowed to be put back in agencies, it will come with adequate training for the officers that have access to it to use it. I've never had access to it. I can't speak on how it was set up or who set it up. But adequate training is necessary, and I will not speak of the details of this suit. Thank you.
Thank you. That was Brandon Tomberlin. All right, next question, and we'll start with you, Brandon. This question is simple. Brenda wants to know, why are you running for sheriff?
That's a great one. I grew up in this community, and I love this community. I have a vision for the Sheriff's Department to connect with the community through transparency, accountability, public safety. I have ideas for the SRO reform. And at the end of the day, one of my biggest goals is community involvement and building public trust. And that's going to take us all. That's going to take us all interacting with one another, talking about issues we're facing within our communities, and having the time and making the time to sit down and discuss those. One of the things that somewhat disappoints me is that there is no bi-weekly meeting between agency heads, law enforcement agency heads in this county. Day one, that's going to start happening. We're going to sit down at a table and we're going to talk about the things that are going on in these communities, in Manchester, in Tullahoma, and in rural Coffee County. We can work together so much better. We've got resources. Tullahoma's got resources. The Sheriff's Department here has resources, and they have each one of them have highly dedicated and trained personnel. But sometimes it just takes coming together and working out our differences and making a better, safer community for the public. You know, one reason I have a commitment to lead the sheriff's department, or a desire to lead the sheriff's department, is that community involvement. That goes back to 2013. My family lost its home to a fire, and I was surrounded by this community. My children had clothes and toothbrushes before the flames were out, and we persevered through that. I told my wife that night in bed, I said, I will never leave this county. I love it. The people that showed up and the hearts and minds that were there to help us through that hard time, I want to lead this county and this sheriff's department in a way that we are here to help you and each and every citizen of this county. Thank you.
Thank you. That was Brandon Tomberlin, candidate for Coffee County Sheriff. Mr. Farrell, the same question. Would you like me to repeat that?
Please, sir.
Brenda wants to know why you're running for sheriff.
Okay. Well, Miss Brenda, I'm glad you asked that. I've worked at the Sheriff's Department for over 20 years. I've got over 30 years of experience through different Sheriff's Departments. It's something that I've always wanted to do. I am a second-generation police officer. My father was a cop in Tullahoma before he went to Collinwood as the chief of police there for several years. Then we moved back to Coffee County, Bedford County line, where I worked on a farm, milking cows from 9 years old up to I was right at 21 years of old, to when I went into security, private security, worked that until I got hired on at the Sheriff's Department and put through the academy. As Sheriff Parton said earlier, I've been through a department that put me through the academy where a new sheriff come in, and at midnight he fired us all but one. I come home then. That was over 20 years ago at Coffee County. Anybody that knows me know that I'm hardworking, and I'm always trying to do the best for the community and take care of my cases. This is a goal I've had for a while. Like I said, I was going to run 8 years ago, but I couldn't run against a man that I'd worked for 20 years. And I appreciate your vote.
Thank you. That was Danny Farrell, candidate for sheriff. Sheriff Parton, same question. Would you like me to repeat it?
No. I've answered this, I think, once before in a previous debate. I wonder sometimes why I do this job, why I put my family through this, why we run for office and put our families through this, and we lose friendships with classmates and friends that we've been to socialize with. It hurts, folks. Y'all have no idea in our law enforcement family the tension that we have. But when I sit right here and I look out in this audience, for those of you that are watching on Facebook or whatever media you're on tonight, if you could turn those cameras around and you see my employees that's got this room filled, that's why I'm running again, and that's why I'll continue to run. I don't have to have this job, folks. I do it because it's a challenge. I do it because I spent my life up there since I was 19-year-old. I know every aspect of it, and I'll tell these new corrections officers there's not a trick in the book that we don't know. We do it. I do it for them. I do it for you, the citizens. I do it because hopefully we get those calls of saying, thank you. You saved my life. You locked me up and you dried me out. You saved my life. Thank you. You solved that child abuse case. Thank you. You got my stolen property back. Thank you. You found my family member's killer and you put them away forever. That's why I'm running for sheriff. You can fight about budgets. You can fight about SROs. You can fight all that. That's what it boils down to, is my law enforcement family that's right here with me, and we're going to fight through this to the end, and we're going to fight for you, the citizens of this county, for doing what's right. Are we perfect? No. We mess up every day. But folks, you're very blessed to live in the county that you live in, because I meet with all other 94 sheriffs once a month, and you ought to hear the horror stories. We don't have any drama in this county. We live in a good county, and we've got good police officers at both of our police departments. And I agree with Mr. Brandon Tomberlin. We're gonna have to work back through this and get back together. I agree with that. And Danny has done a very good job and has been a hard-working, honest deputy sheriff, loyal to these people. And I agree with that. That's why we're running. We each have different ideas and opinions, but at the end of the day, it's for you. Thank you.
right, this is our last question, and you will have time for a closing statement after we go through this. We'll start with Sheriff Parton. Do you believe the Sheriff's Department is in better shape now than it was 4 years ago? Why and why not? And how do you envision improvement over the next 4 years if you are reelected sheriff?
You know, I want to say we're like BSAF. We took a product and we made it better. I wanted to build upon what Sheriff Graves left us. I didn't want to go in and tear that down. If I wanted to tear it down, I would have fired everybody out there and we'd started all over again. But you can't do that in modern times. There was no reason for it because you had good, dedicated employees out there. We just had to tweak it. We had to tweak issues in that jail. We had to get these lawsuits under control. We had to get this budget under control. And I, as sheriff, had to stand up before that county commission and fight for my people's pay. And I'm going to continue to do it, and I'm going to fight for their insurance. I've got to. That's my responsibility. I'm happy to say I don't know what more I can do of crunching pennies out there. So much that fund balance out here at the county commission, that's where your fund balance, you're so padding, laying on like a Posturpedic mattress, come from the sheriff's office. That come from the sheriff's department. There's no other department, no school system, nobody that's been under budget millions of dollars, period. And I'm very happy about that. I'm very proud about that. I'm very proud of the crimes that we have solved. Very proud of that. I'm very proud of the young men and women that I've got the probably average age at that sheriff's office out there, if you combine nearly all 140 employees out there, is around 25 years old, 26 maybe. Me and Captain Butler and Chief Watkins, we're the old Mohicans out there. And I'm just a ripe age of 49. It's just the changing times. But what we're going to do moving forward, we're going to keep fighting for what we're doing and stay on the course. Last year when the auditors came, they had 2 days scheduled out. 2 days scheduled out, state auditors sit down and go through our books and go through us like a fine-tooth comb. I went off and did other things. It wasn't long, Miss Green's calling me saying, Sheriff, you need to come back to the jail. And I go, what's wrong? Auditors are done in a half day. That's how good your books are done out there. That's how good your books are done. I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of every one of these men and women that are out there. And for those of you out there working tonight at the jail, you hangs tough. We'll be back home. Thank you.
Thank you. That was Sheriff Chad Parton. Mr. Farrell, would you like me to repeat that question, sir?
Please, sir.
All right. Do you believe the Sheriff's Department is in better shape now than it was 4 years ago? Why or why not? And how do you envision improvement over the next 4 years if you are elected sheriff?
Well, I know the budget from the Sheriff Department from 2018 to 2021-22 has rose $2 million. Sheriff Parton has done good with everything that he's got. He's got these young deputies a raise, which that was big on my hit list. They have to have a raise. My other thing to do, as Sheriff Parton also addressed, is a benefits package. You can't have a young family paying anywhere from $700 to $1,000 a month for insurance for family coverage insurance. We as the people of Coffee County are going to have to do better than that and work together as a group to get that down so they can go live comfortably for their family and provide for that family. I know times that the gas prices went up. I don't know about Sheriff Parton, but in Warren County, we've exceeded our gas bill by $30,000 already. I don't know about Coffee County. But there's always room for improvement, and I will work with anybody to make those improvements. Anybody that sits in this room that knows me knows I will do that to benefit the citizens of Coffee County.
Thank you. That was Danny Farrell. Mr. Tomberlin, same question. Would you like me to repeat that, sir?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
So I would hope that after 4 years that we are in somewhat better shape. A lot of that goes to progress made through technology and grants. A lot of this is a part of our county commissioners that get out and do a good job. Those county commissioners voted for those raises for those officers, and you guys and gals needed that extremely. But I made a comment in this first debate, and I brought up this insurance issue, and I'll make a promise to you guys and gals right now. I will fight for you tooth and nail to get you better insurance benefits. It is unacceptable. I mean, if you folks, if these men and women get the lowest possible insurance plan they can get right now is $779. That's for the worst plan that they can get for family coverage insurance. The best plan they can get for family coverage insurance is over $1,500 a month. Now, to a lot of these guys and gals, that's one paycheck a month going to cover their insurance cost. And we're asking them to provide us safety and come into work and be proud and happy of what they're doing. And they do it. They do it. But we owe it to them. And I'll work with the county commission. I'm not going to go in there bullheaded and say this is going to happen, this is going to be done. I'll work with the folks that are there collectively. I'm not going to go in any office, any elected official's office, and try to bulldog my way through it or curse at them like it's been done in the past. I'm going to be here to respect those elected officials and their employees and fight for what's best for those employees and for the citizens as well. There's people I've talked to in and out of the jail that have concerns about the way that jail's ran. Now, these are inmates that come out of the jail, but it was compared to just deplorable conditions and a situation that was almost unlivable. I understand they're inmates, but they're human beings too, and we owe them a right to take care of them and provide them with conditions that are at least tolerable. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's Brandon Tomberlin. Sheriff Parton, would you like 60 seconds to respond to any of that?
Thank you. Yes, I've got to disagree with Mr. Tomberlin on that. Tonight, anybody wants to go to that jail tonight and take a walk through there and make a surprise visit, or anytime you want to make a surprise visit to that jail, come on. You're not going to find a cleaner, nicer, healthier jail in this state. That $1.2 million kitchen you got out there with the jail built around it wins the award statewide. We are not running a Motel 6 out there. We're not running a Motel 6. We don't have no sugar, no salt, no Coca-Colas, no honey buns, no Snickers bars. That place is like Quiet Mouse back there. And that's the way we're going to leave it. We got folks getting in there and coming out of there healthier than they were when they went in. They're losing weight. They're coming off their blood pressure medicine. They're coming off sodium medicines. They're coming out there. That medical division out there is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Doing a great job. I welcome anybody to come to my jail and look at it anytime, day of the week. You'll be impressed. Thank you.
Mr. Tomberlin, you have 30 seconds to respond.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I have to disagree on that. I have talked to several folks in this community that have tried to reach out to the administration there, and it falls on deaf ears. They've tried to go in and have meetings and talks. I know churches are trying to get back into that jail. These rehab facilities and these rehab services that we have in our county cannot even get access to those jail inmates to provide them with the services that they need, the hope that they need, something to help them out. And I will make sure that happens. And if you come to me, if you come to the jail needing me, you ask for Brandon. I'm going to be there for you, and I'm willing and ready to sit down and talk to you.
Thank you, Mr. Tomberlin. Each candidate has 90 seconds for a closing statement. Brandon Tomberlin, you are first.
Well, I again want to thank everyone for coming out. Initially, I had identified several goals that I wanted to implement in the future of the Sheriff's Department, that being transparency, accountability, public safety, SRO reform, and community involvement. This has greatly expanded after conversations with the citizens of Coffee County and some of these employees here of the Sheriff's Department. Here are just a few. I will implement a leadership style that motivates and inspires employees. I will work to restart a DARE program in our schools. I will continue to meet and work with hospital administrators to discuss hospital safety and security for our healthcare workers. Through community involvement and transparency, I will quickly begin rebuilding public trust. I will treat not only the citizens of this county with dignity and respect they deserve, but also the other elected officials. I will repair relationships and rebuild unity with law enforcement agencies in this county to provide the citizens with the best public safety possible. I will continue to research the success of the work release programs and help inmates that qualify have jobs when they're released. It is imperative that whoever is your next sheriff work with our churches and our rehab services to get back into our jail and interacting with those inmates. Businessman Harry Grulin said, "Being a leader is more than just wanting to lead. Leaders have empathy for others and a keen ability to find the best in people, not the worst, but truly caring for others." I am Brandon Tomberlin, and I humbly ask for your vote.
Thank you, Mr. Farrell. You have 90 seconds.
I'm Danny Farrell. I am a dedicated and dependable. I have a high standard of moral integrity, treat people with respect as I want to be treated. I would have a highly trained and experienced, qualified to lead the Sheriff's Department. By maintaining all these qualities and goals, we'll have a department recognized by the state of Tennessee and the citizens of Coffee County as being the best they have to serve and protect all of them. As said previously, early voting starts tomorrow, July the 15th, in the morning, and I humbly ask for your vote on August the 4th. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you, Mr. Farrell. Sheriff Parton, you have 90 seconds.
Well, thank you. I don't know what more I can say. We can go back and forth all night arguing and debating, and there is good topics that have been brought up. Like I said, we're not perfect. We've been through a lot. When I got elected 4 years ago, who would ever thought I'd had to go through this thing called COVID and have a jail with 400 inmates in it and trying to keep them healthy and safe? Folks, we did a great job. There again, that goes to my medical staff and the corrections folks that have been dedicated, and they live through that. Every day we live through that, and I'm happy to say we never had one person hospitalized that I'm aware of over that COVID, where a lot of prisons and a lot of jails had a lot of sick people. I've done the best that I can do, and I will keep fighting and digging. I'm not afraid to get dirty. We're county. We're not pavement cops. I'm a gravel roads backwoods boy, and that's where I live, and that's where I'm going to run. And the clock don't stop at 4 o'clock for us. Crime doesn't stop at 4. My folks work, and they work day and night, and I'm going to work right there with them till the day I can't do it anymore. I appreciate every one of you being here tonight. You stuck with me. You're loyal. Whoever comes out of this, you be loyal to them. They're going to have you. Because no sheriff can go out there to that jail by himself with 400 inmates and expect to feed them, medicate them, serve the civil process, take care of the courts, and patrol the roads of the Coffee County by himself. It's impossible. You've got to have these men and women right here. Every time you see these men and women, thank them. Thank them for the thankless job that they do every day. We're not pretty. We don't wear fancy shirts, and we don't have tea times. We work. That's what we do. I'm Chad Parton. I'm your sheriff. I want to be sheriff 4 more years. Thank you.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, folks, we're back, and we want to remind you that this Thursday night, rain or shine, is the ice cream social at South Jackson.
Featuring the South Jackson Street Band.
And if it rains, it'll be inside. If it doesn't rain, it'll be outside.
Exactly.
And
there's a dance class at 6:30, and that's always fun. And people are thinking, well, where are we going to dance? Inside. But there is some room.
There's space.
Our band is loud. You can hear them in the hallway.
Sure,
so we carry on. We're giving dance prizes for 4 different styles. Did I say that? For swing, waltz, foxtrot, and rumba.
What about the gator?
The gator?
Oh, you 60s hippies will know what that means.
I don't. Did you do the gator?
Oh yeah, that's when you get in the floor and waller around.
Yeah, in my day we did the dog, and there was a lot of other things like that.
So what we're going to do right now is go to the South Jackson Street Band.
Another bride, another groom, another sunny honeymoon, another season, another reason for making whoopee. A lot of shoes, a lot of price. The groom is nervous, he answers twice. It's really killing that he's so willing to make whoopee. Picture a little love nest out where the roses cling. Picture that same sweet love nest. Think what a year can bring. He's washing dishes and baby clothes. He's so ambitious, he even sews. But don't forget, folks, that's what you get, folks, for making whoopee. Another year, or maybe less. What's this I hear? Well, can't you guess? She feels neglected, and he's suspected of making whoopee. She sits alone most every night. He doesn't phone her, he doesn't write. He says he's busy, but she says, is he? He's making whoopee. My love has come along. Yes. My lonely days are over. And life is like a song. At last, skies above are blue. My heart was wrapped up in clover. The night I looked at you, I found a dream that I can speak to, a dream that I can call my own. I found a thrill to press my cheek to, a thrill that I never know. You smile, and like a butterfly. And here we are in heaven.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Folks,
we made
I
it
guess
through.
we made it through the show.
we did.
And
We've done it again.
had some good people on. I was really excited to have Coy Siscone today, the new football coach at Tullahoma. Well, he's not the new football coach, he's the new head coach at Tullahoma High School. What an enthusiastic young man.
And what a great, has he got most of the team back, or did a lot?
No, they lost 22
graduate?
seniors.
Wow.
He only has 6 seniors.
So it may take a while?
Well, it's a rebuilding, but you need to think about the fact that the team that just graduated went undefeated for 2 years.
I know, they were
so
fast.
they were good as juniors and sophomores.
So the same thing
and
may happen this year.
This team that we have was playing behind a state championship football team.
They'll have a good. I think
they had to learn something.
They did, of course.
So, but we need to get behind Tullahoma Wildcat football. They have a new helmet. I was hoping they could bring in. They've changed the tee a little bit. I asked him. It's shown as Tullahoma football. And I said, well, is the Wildcat going away? And he said, no, it's not the Wildcat. It's just the way the T has some stuff in it that it didn't have in it before.
So they're going with new helmets.
It was just approved, and they mocked one up to take a picture. Then he had to take it off of it to give it to a kid because they have 115 or so kids out for football.
That's awesome.
It's incredible. Everybody wants to play with a champion.
Right. In this heat, I hope they were okay. I always worry about,
They'll be fine.
So
we've got that. Vote, 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 vote,
now,
vote.
don't forget.
Can't complain unless you vote. And anytime you hear anything about the 2040 plan, find a way to go make your opinion known. If you like what's going on, if people are raising Cain about something that you don't agree with, you go raise some Cain.
Exactly.
You know, that's what this country's all about. You get to raise Cain in this country and not get your head cut off. We can do, because we're alive, brave, and free.
Exactly.
Thank
and
you,
we want to stay that way.
Thank you, all you military people out there.
And first responders.
For making this a free country where we can say and do pretty much as we wish. And it's all because of you standing on that wall watching for our freedom. We appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
And with that said, we're out of here. We'll see you next time.